bad news for Tiger, although now as more and more of the police report is released, we're finding out that he did blow a zeros on the breath test for alcohol. So the DUI, as he said in his statement, alcohol was not a factor, but it was what he called an unexpected reaction to prescription medicine, found around 3 a.m. with his car running on a road with the blinker on, which is a bad look for him, and certainly the
well, he didn't lie.
Was a bad look too.
At least he didn't lie. Apparently, he failed the field sobriety.
Right.
3 a.m. sleeping at the wheel. I mean,
right, but alcohol not part of this.
I get it. But
he was getting his future on Molly Percocet.
He's saying prescription drugs.
Just say, what are we talking about?
It was an unexpected reaction to medication that he had.
Well, you go back to the whole.
What difference does it make, though? That's what I don't understand about Tiger Woods coming out and saying that, because it's still DUI. Mm-hmm. So the fact that I understand the negative stigma toward alcohol and DUI situations, but it's still.
But alcohol makes it sound careless. This makes it sound like
dangerous. It's still dangerous. Okay. Why are you taking prescription drugs and getting behind the wheel? You still have the opportunity to call for a car service. You're a multimillionaire. What are you doing? It's inexcusable behavior. So I don't want to hear you, Tiger Woods, come out and say it wasn't alcohol and I want everybody to know it. It doesn't excuse it. It doesn't make it any better. And it's still a terrible attempt to try to control the narrative when we realize you have no control over yourself at all. So, when people start talking about Tiger's hit rock bottom, I don't know that he's hit rock bottom.
Really?
I don't know that this is rock bottom, because when you're still trying to manipulate a situation, when you're still trying to control a situation, you're not admitting that you don't have control. You're not at a point where somebody can intervene. You haven't gotten there yet. And that's the sad part about this story right now. That's what everybody's not talking about. And it's so disappointing.
Sorry. It's something that Rick and I have talked about when we've talked about Tiger over the last couple of years when we were doing our shows at the way beginning, because we're both fans of Tiger Woods. We both wanted to see him come back, and I think there's a lot of us that still won't let go of that idea that we'll see Tiger again. But the more of these types of incidents that happen, I think the less likely it is we'll ever see that Tiger again, and it becomes more of like rooting for him to come back to more or less rooting for him to just, survive at this point, because he does look like he's in a real bad place, and we've said this. When his father passed away, he lost his moral compass, and ever since that point, he has not been the same person.
No, you're absolutely right, and I think he's in a situation now with, the back surgery, another back surgery. I think it's his fourth back surgery. The fact that, he can't even swing a golf club for the next couple months is, as a professional athlete, and I've never been on the same level as Tiger Woods, not even close, like with that kind of greatness, that kind of dominance. I mean, I don't think we've ever seen something like that in professional sports, with just how he changed how people felt about golf, period. Like, I mean, it was no longer a sport where you didn't have to be an athlete. Like, he was an athlete. He was in good shape. He worked out. He trained with Navy SEALs. I mean, he seemed perfect in every way. You know what I mean? He brought everyone to the television screen. You saw him on a Sunday with the red shirt on, and you were like, okay, game, set, match, it's over. And, when that thing happened on Thanksgiving, I think he lost a lot of that mystique. I don't think players necessarily feared him as much as they did, because he's just like everyone else. He has the same problems that everyone else has. But you're in a situation now where, and I know towards the end of my career, was how I felt about myself was really how I played on the ice. Like, if I had a great game, I felt good. If I had a bad game, that was my validation. That's how I felt. That's who I was. It was the hockey player. And I had a hard time once I retired trying to figure out, who am I? Like, right. What am I good at outside of playing hockey? Like, that's how I felt about. That's how my moods would always change with how I played. And you could probably ask my wife questions about that, but I just think he's lost right now. I really do. I mean, he had everything going for him, and I don't necessarily know if it was exactly what he wanted, but because from an early age he was being groomed to be the best of all time. Like, he was Roy Hobbs. Like, he was going to be golf's Roy Hobbs. And unfortunately, when you're in a situation like that, and we had the conversation yesterday, my wife and I, when she was kind of echoing what Chris was saying, and we've talked about this quite a bit, is like, what are you doing? I mean, you're Tiger Woods, you got all this money. It's like, how could you fall asleep on Thanksgiving with your flip phone on your chest? I mean, even if you had Perkins things going on with other ladies, like, you're Tiger Woods. Have someone that handles that for you.
Right.
Is from the time he was 2 years old, hitting golf balls on television, everyone around him has tried to facilitate his greatness. Made excuses for him, just clean messes up. I think you're seeing the same thing right now with Odell Beckham Jr. At some point, when you lose your dad, or the guy that's the one that's supposed to tell you no when you need to be told no, and lead you in the right direction, and you surround yourself with yes people, you lose your way.